Hey, what is happening? What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the channel. So this video, not going to be a tutorial. What I'm going to basically be doing is just explaining to you a little bit about depth of field so you can understand a little bit better and you can improve your renders by using this technique. Not all renders need depth of field, but you could elevate your 3D game by using depth of field. And what I'll do is I'll explain it as basic as possible so that you understand it and that you can use it in the future. So I'm going to just bring up a scene here and we can see how we've got a scene. Very, very basic, not too complicated. Probably wouldn't render something like this, but it looks quite nice. It's got nice clouds in the background, nice flowers, nice reflective water, but nothing special. So let's say I want to make this scene a little bit better. I want to elevate it. I want to make it look a little bit more like a photo, a little bit more realistic. And how do we do that? So if you haven't heard about depth of field, it's basically, you know, when you've got those nice portraits and your subject or the person you're taking a portrait of is in focus and the background is blurry, or, you know, there's new techniques that they've used where the person is blurry and then they make the background in focus. It's just an artistic preference sometimes. Some photographers like to do that. But basically, by using very, very good lenses that are very expensive, you get that depth of field, and the more expensive the lenses is, the better depth of field basically, because you get a thing like f-stop. So let me go to camera and we can just talk a little bit more about depth of field. So I've got depth of field here. I'm not going to enable it yet. As you can see here, you got aperture, so f-stop. That's basically the lower you go, so you can't go to 0, but if you go to like 1, then it'll be more blurry basically, and if you go to like 20, more stuff will be in focus. Okay, so if you're doing like so let me basically just show you. So boom, and now I've enabled depth of field. So I've got depth of field here, and you can see this instantly becomes blurry. If I turn it off, it becomes in focus again, and you'll see now if I change the f-stop to something like 15, watch what happens. This becomes more in focus. See what I mean? It's basically like not even having it on or off. Okay, so if you go down to like 1, you can see how blurry that is, and it doesn't look as good. So you want to go to something like 2.5, and that looks quite nice. Okay, and if you find another spot like this, you can go to somewhere like this and click on the camera, go Control-Alt-0, and now you can see this is all blurry. And if I turn it off, everything is in focus. So it gives you that nice, it basically gives you that nice photography kind of feel. It's almost like you've taken it with a professional camera. And basically what you'll do is you select, so what I'll do is I'll disable it. So you select basically where you want the focus point to be. So I'm going to put it on this landscape over here on the plane. You can see how that changes. Now this becomes in focus. This looks a lot nicer. Look how nice that looks. And then if I render this, I'm just going to disable this cube, go F12, and you can see how nice it looks. This is all in focus, as in focus as possible, and then this is blurry. Look how good and realistic this makes your grass and your render look. And this looks amazing. I'm going to actually just save it and make it so this will be my thumbnail. So just give me a second. Okay, so you can see how nice that looks. Let's go back here, and you can see you can play around with blades, the rotation, the ratio, but to be honest, depth of field pretty basic. All you're going to do is you're going to change the f-stop, let's say, and you can bring it up to something like 5 if you don't want everything to be so blurry, and it also looks pretty good. This is still kind of blurry. This is a little bit more in focus, but I like something like 2.5. and it looks pretty good. So hopefully basically you just need to remember that the lower you go down to 0, the more blurry you'll have, and the wider you go to something like 15, the higher you go, the more will be in focus all around. So if you don't really want the depth of field, don't make it like 15, just turn it off and it looks fine. But if you want depth of field, make sure that you go down to quite a low f-stop and something like that. And just remember that to make it look a lot better, you want to have things layered. So you want something close, you want something further back. You don't want just one object in the scene, then you won't even see the depth of field. You want, if I can explain it like that, you want the layers like this all the way through. So you can see there, you can see all the layers all the way through. If I go back to the camera, it layers the scene and it becomes blurry. So hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, like I said, hopefully this video helps you a bit, and hopefully you understand depth of field a little bit better. And yeah, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Supports me in the channel. Check out Vidiq. Check out my Patreon. Links in the description. See you in the next video. Peace.